what is your favourite ice skating move?
Oh, my favourite ice skating move? Yeah, that's tricky. I mean, the toughest move that I always wanted to be able to do, and most ice skaters will say this, is the axle, where you jump from forwards to backwards and spin in the air, a full rotation, and it's quite scary. So there's probably that. But then with a partner, there's a move that I quite like, is where I get the girl and I basically put her upside down, and I've got her head there and her backside there, and I hold her with one arm. So that's called a banana, which is something I like. So it's, yeah, those two moves are my favourites.
Okay. In ice skating, when you lift people up, can they be heavy sometimes?
Can they be heavy? Well, most of the skaters, professional pairs skaters I've skated with, are tiny. They're your sort of size, so really small, and I can pick them up and throw them around. Having said that, there's a few TV presenters I've picked up who might be a little bit overweight, some from the BBC. But do you know what? I mean, I wouldn't do very dangerous lifts with you know, two heavy people, but you know, it is about timing and stuff. But sometimes muscle weighs more than fat, so even if they're sort of small, they can be very muscly and quite heavy. So yeah, I haven't really lifted Nelly the elephant or anything like that yet, so I'm all right.
Okay. What's it like working with other skaters?
Well, the thing is, I'm an amateur skater still. I consider myself sort of still a novice compared to the professionals who've skated all their lives. I love to watch other skaters, how they skate. I love to learn from them. I love to learn new tricks, new moves. But watching professionals and probably the utmost professional in Torben and Dean, whenever you skate with them, you just feel like they're sort of subhuman, not subhuman, superhuman, because they're so good. They're so strong, they're so elegant, and yeah, I love watching real professionals skate.
Oh yeah. What is the worst injury you've ever had from skating?
Well, from skating, fortunately, touch wood, I've not had too many bad ones, other than I mean, I tried to do an axle, fell over and split myself out there with a few stitches. But compared to rugby, ice skating's a doddle when it comes to injuries. So I've been very lucky. Luckily, I haven't had any skates go close to my ears or my fingers yet. But it is a dangerous sport if you land badly on the ice with a blade anywhere near. I've cut myself a few times with my partner on my legs, where they sort of rip the skin open a little bit, but no need for stitches, so it's not that bad. It could be a lot worse. I could be playing rugby, which is very dangerous.
Lovely.
What's your ice skating idol?
Well, my idols still are and always have been, will be Torben and Dean. You're too young to remember Bolero, that they did nearly 30 years ago now, which still is one of the most iconic ice skating moves, routines ever to be seen. Perfect scores. So yeah, by quite some way, they're my idols, Torben and Dean.
How different is ice skating to rugby?
Very different, but very similar. They're both sports. Most people see ice skating as as sort of like a theatrical event. It's not. It's actually, you have to train and train and train. Repetitive training to get performance at the time in the moment. The other thing is, ice skating is quite a solo sport. If you're on your own or with your partner, it's a little bit different to being with a team where there's 15 of you in a team, where you know how everyone's going to react to everything. So I would say that they're very different in the sense that you're relying on a whole team to work together. But when you're on your own on the ice, it's very scary world to be in. But when your preparation is different, because when you're playing rugby, you don't have to do your hair and your makeup and have fake tans and stuff. So I would say that it's quite different in that respect, and the glamour and the sort of the performance stuff. You don't need to look good for the crowd in rugby, but you do have to look good and perform all the time when you're skating.
Okay. What is your proudest rugby moment?
Oh, my proudest rugby moment would be winning the World Cup in 2003. England beat Australia in Australia. First time we've ever done it. We were all awarded applauded MBEs for doing it, so it's sort of in folklore now, Johnny Wilkinson kicking that drop goal in the last few minutes, so I'm very fortunate to have been in a great sport. So yeah, winning the World Cup, probably.
This has a bit to do with the last thing you were just talking about. It was, how did it feel to be part of the 2003 World Cup winning team?
Amazing, a lot of pressure for us to be there. We were the ranked #1 team in the world at the time. Everyone expected us to win, but to actually go out and deliver it was the hard part, and we actually went out there and delivered it, and we were, you know, sort of the fact that it went into extra time was even more tense, but it was just great and really relieving to come away with the trophy, so yeah, brilliant.
What is the one thing you want to tick off on your bucket list?
Tick off?
Your bucket list.
How do you mean? Things I was still left to do? Or?
Yes, things you still left to do.
Oh, goodness me. I would like to jump out of a helicopter, probably, or a plane. I'd like to free fall for quite a long time. Hopefully by the time you're my age and I'm 20 years later, then I will have the chance to go into space. That'd be quite cool. In skates. So yeah, maybe something like that.
If I gave you an elephant, where would you hide it?
If you gave me an elephant,
Where would you hide it?
oh, where would I hide an elephant? Ah, that's a great question. A baby elephant or a big one? An African one? Well, if I had an elephant to hide, firstly I'd bring it home to my 3 boys, who would think I was the most amazing dad in the world. I would try and I would take out the back door so it could get into our big kitchen, and I'd let all my mates come round and see what I've got in the kitchen. So probably in my kitchen. I might have to sit down.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Great questions.